Hi everyone, we're back in Video Land. We're really glad to be with you again, and I want to talk a little bit about, many of you know I had a very large fibroid tumor, and it appeared on the surface that it was healed with wheatgrass juice and very clean food. Interestingly, I went for a walk some weeks later when my health felt really vital, and I had an insight that the foundation of the healing was really a settled, quiet mind. That's where the deepest healing had come from. And it's so interesting because this understanding points us directly there to actually live from there. And I want to build and share something about health and how this understanding relates.
Yeah, so first of all, it was just such a great blessing, when Connie went to Optimum Health and discovered living foods and had that huge change in her health. And what's interesting is, yeah, as we keep learning more, we see there's more to life and health than just food. Food plays an important part, but we've been reading forever. You probably heard too that like 80% of all conditions in the world, all health conditions, are stress related. And so, what Connie's talking about is seeing how the real healing occurred on the quiet, silent level. We're beginning to understand how that's related too. So, we heard recently about a study that shows when you tighten your fist, it stops the circulation. Um, and so we ultimately have to let go. That old saying about white knuckling it, we have to stop white knuckling it at some point because it cuts off the circulation and there's no nutrients, there's no energy, no blood coming to the cells. And what was interesting about this recent study is that it showed that with just a 5% contraction in our fist, we actually reduced the blood flow by 70%. Hard for me to believe, but I believe science, so I'm going with that. Anyway, whatever the numbers happen to be, it was quite significant that a little bit of stress has a significant impact on blood flow. And so what that means is when we're tense, um, even if it's not a high degree of tension, we're impacting our health. And so the cells aren't getting that blood flow, so they're not getting the nutrients, they're not getting the energy. And what Connie experienced in that kind of recognition that the foundation of the healing was a quiet mind, could very well have been, I believe it was, the recognition that when we're rested, our bodies are really able to utilize the nutrients that we put in our mouth. You see, isn't it interesting that no matter how well we eat, if we're tense, the nutrients may not actually get to the cells because we're keeping it up.
Well, what I see is that we had our restaurant, our Healing Foods restaurant. We were under extreme stress, preparing meals every day, every day. And then
And loving it,
and
not
loving
very
it
stressed
too.
out.
I went to California to Optimum Health and had this period of real rest as well as healing foods. So
Yeah,
I see how that's related.
yeah, that's wonderful. So just to tie it now to the understanding, how is it that this understanding we're talking about, these principles, help us to find a more rested place in our lives? And the real missing link for us as we understand more about these principles is that our experience of life is actually created from our thinking. So often, I always believe that what I'm feeling has everything to do with my circumstances, which is why I run around trying to manage and manipulate my circumstances in my life because I want to be happy, not unhappy. And yet, no matter how hard I tried to manage my circumstances, there was still this situation where I would not always be happy. And it was a lot of work. So with the principles, what we're seeing is that our experience of life is always the reflection of our moment-to-moment thinking. And when I understand that, then I see that when I'm tense, that actual experience of tension may not be about the situation that I'm in, as much as it's kind of an alert, a little dime bell, to look at the nature of my thinking. I'll give you a quick example. It used to be that when I'd get cut off in traffic, I'd get all uppity about it, and I'd be, this guy. And I thought that it was because this driver cut me off that I feel this anger and sometimes would, have these thoughts, I'm just going to get up on his bumper, it would get really insane. And I even saw the insanity of the thinking that came with that, but I also noticed that sometimes someone would cut me off, and I didn't have that reaction. Sometimes I went, whoa, this guy's in a real hurry. He must really feel like there's something important he has to get to, that he's willing to drive kind of unsafely like that, and I would just back off. So I saw it wasn't the circumstance, but I never connected the dots that it had to do with my particular state of mind or the way I was thinking at the time. If I look back, whenever I react to somebody cutting me off, it's usually because I have a pretty busy mind myself. I've got some personal thinking going on. Maybe I'm in a hurry and he's going to slow me down, whatever that is. Basically, I've got a busy mind. And those times when somebody cuts me off, and I go, oh, I have a broader perspective, and I see how he's just got something on his mind and he's really doing the best he can, I have a settled mind. So I see it's the state of mind that creates my experience of the same circumstance. And that's been the missing link that allows me to start to understand that it's not my circumstances that produce the tension in my life, it's my state of mind. And that's what the principles are helping me to understand and to be able to get to that more settled state of mind more often.
Yeah, that's really true for me too. I'm really seeing how being in a quiet, rested mind changes my life completely. So we'll share more next week, and thanks for joining us, everyone. We so love connecting with you. Bye.
Bye-bye.